it started to mean more to me. Like it used to be I'd stand out and shake hands and people would be like, man, it was so funny, whatever. Then every once in a while, someone would go, hey, dude, I listened to you on Bob and Tom, and I've been sober for 6 months, and you really helped me talking about the thing. That meant, where it didn't used to, I never even had that. That meant more to me than somebody going, dude, that was so funny. I love that bit about the. I just kind of was like, oh, thanks. It's like I wasn't giving them anything.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Jeff Allen. Welcome to Who Gave Jeff Allen a Podcast. We're going to find you. We're going to seek you out. Whoever gave this to me is in trouble. There's 6 billion of you. We'll find you. My sponsor is still Nordic Wave. We're still hoping to sell one. We have not yet in almost a year. Cold plunge. That's right. Dunk your body. Talk to your doctor before you do it. I don't want you to jump in there, have a heart attack, and try to sue me. I own nothing. My wife owns everything. We have a guest today, and I have been looking forward to this. We had him on before, and it almost shut us down. So we thought we'd bring him back and see if we can completely close this up so I could stop losing money. By the way, subscribe wherever the button is. Subscribe, share, complain. We don't care. It moves the algorithm. Just talk about us one way or the other. It doesn't matter. Reno Collier is a nationally touring comedian, podcast host, and longtime friend of the blue-collar comedy world, having toured with Larry the Cable Guy. You're still touring with Larry.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been riding those coattails. I still have flannel in my fingernails.
Yeah, there you go.
Just holding on, man.
Larry
Come
the
on,
Cable
you
Guy.
Big, fat redneck. Make some more money.
Let me do the intro.
Oh, sorry.
My God.
I got you.
Interrupted me. Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, and Ron White, known for his relatable storytelling and Southern humor.
You know I didn't write any of that.
I know you didn't. Reno appeared on Comedy Central, CMT, NBC, Animal Planet.
I had a
That's when you were drinking, though. That's when you were drinking.
I was drinking quite a bit.
Then you were an animal.
It's a fishing.
That's when you were an animal, was when you were drinking. And Dry Bar Comedy. Beyond comedy, Reno is deeply passionate about serving Gold Star families. I can attest to that with Soldier's Child. You do an event every year.
Yes,
I was only invited once. I just want you to know.
You've been invited more. It's just that you live in Chattanooga, so it's kind of hard for you.
I don't live in Chattanooga.
It felt like an hour and a half to me.
My God, we're not even a minute into this. He's already
I'm just saying, I went all the way to your house, no aquarium.
I guess I should be happy you drove down to Nashville.
Well, you know what? For Murfreesboro.
Well, yeah, Murfreesboro.
You never know when an onion
nowhere.
truck's going to flip over on 24 and it takes me 7 hours to get here.
Can I get through the intro? My God. Supporting children of fallen military heroes across the country. And you're also the host of the podcast Alive and Sober. I ought to talk about that because where he shares honest conversations about addiction, recovery, faith, redemption with humor and heart. So you are here back Reno. So let's mention the because she's going to go to lunch. So you did an hour and a half interview last time.
I did an hour and a half
and
interview.
had the nerve to text me and ask me if we edit. Because for an hour and a half, you never mentioned your wife once.
Well,
and that's on me.
Hold a minute.
As if I would edit Sandy out of the podcast. She's the only redeeming quality you have.
All right, I love how you did this with her sitting in here with me. What happened was I can get ahead of myself, and we were in the car, and your podcast was one of the first times I ever opened up about getting sober and being honest and about Jesus and about things like that.
Oh, wow.
That was one of the first times I ever did it. And it was an hour and a half. So we were in the car and I go, hey, let's listen to the podcast with Jeff. She's like, okay, cool. It's raining. I'll never forget this.
Actually, I think her words were she was trapped in a car with you and forced to listen to the podcast. I
had problems with a false ego. Yes.
With Jeff.
It was how about a little less you, a lot more me, play.
Because I can tell you, if I ever said to Tammy, hey, I'm on a podcast, you want to hear it? She would I'd rather have a spinal tap and a root canal than listen to you for an hour and a half.
So we're listening to our podcast, and I put it on. And as I start talking and start going on and on, about 10 minutes in, I'm like, all right, come on, Reno. Throw something in there about Sandy. And I'm going, and then I found Jesus, and I went and I did this, and I've been helping these other alcoholics, and and then I. And about a half an hour in, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Jeff must have cut something out, because there's no way I would talk that long and not talk about how wonderful my wife is. I look over at her, and she has this look on her face she's kind of starting to look away from the front out the windshield, and she's starting to look out the side window. It's nighttime. It's raining. There is nothing to see out there. So I know she's not counting deer or, you know what I mean? I wonder
because
what mile
that's
marker.
a hobby most people like to do as they drive, is to count the deer.
Yeah. So about an hour in, I noticed that her whole demeanor had started to change, and it was a lot of, you're full of whatever. I think, I can't say the word, but didn't you say you're full of whatever? And I go, what do you mean I'm full of whatever? And she's like,
deer poop.
You sound like you did all this by yourself. And I was like, well, I also clearly gave all the credit to God. And surely you wouldn't want to put yourself on the side. That didn't make it better, right?
No, that didn't.
So as it went on, I started to know. I started to know
the hole's getting deeper.
Right, and it was getting worse and worse, and it made that hour and a half. I could have sworn this podcast was 9 hours long, because I'm sitting there going, Reno, come on. So at that point, I have a tendency to get out over my skis, and I can act like I did things on my own, when clearly that was not the case.
Right.
From the minute that I decided I needed to the most important thing that happened in me getting sober was when we were standing out, as far as what I remember, we're standing on our back porch, and I'm drunk and I'm drinking, and I'm like, I think, honey, I think I got to stop. Like I'm literally, and from the doctor, I'm killing myself.
Right.
And she looked at me and goes, I'll do it with you. And she's not an alcoholic, but she does love wine. And that was the first thing that kicked me on the track of, I'm not alone. I mean, that fear of, I can be surrounded by people and feel alone.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And I felt like I was kind of out on an island holding the secret in. Everybody knew. I mean, it's not.
Let me ask you this, because I could tell you the number of people that came to me after I said I'm an alcoholic, and and the response was, "You."
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Not one person went, you? Really?
Yeah.
No.
We couldn't tell when you caught my backyard on fire.
Yeah.
We had no idea. So it was that.
Yeah.
That's what sucks, though. With alcohol, you have an excuse. Like,
Well,
why'd
so
you
funny.
start that fire? I was drunk. When you're sober,
Right.
nobody,
It's all on you.
you throw a liquor bottle through a window and people go, oh, he's an alcoholic. You chuck a Mountain Dew through a bottle and they're like, he's a jackass.
Right.
Like, that guy's a jerk.
Yeah.
I have no excuse anymore. I'm just,
I just wrote a line in the
he's
show.
pre-diabetic.
I just wrote a line in my show about I drank vodka because it didn't smell.
Yeah.
I could kiss her and she couldn't smell it. It was all the other stuff that gave the vodka away. Waking up half naked next to dumpsters, passing out on the front lawn, parking the car in the ditch.
How'd I get this lump on my head?
Yeah, exactly. Those were the things that gave it away.
Do you hear a car alarm going off? It woke me up.
Yeah, my breath smelled good though.
Yeah.
You always until the puke.
You always, yeah, right. Then it's kind of, that's not the liquor, that's my vomit.
Right, exactly.
You always think, well, first of all, I think you always think people think about you more than they actually do. And you think people care about you more than they actually do, or care about what you're doing. And for me, I internalize everything. So it was always like, nobody knows. I mean, I could manipulate a situation to get a drink. So I figured I was manipulating everybody and everything, and people didn't know.
It's so cool that your wife would join you in that.
Dude, it saved me because
Tammy doubled down. She drank more after I quit. It was like when I came home with hip replacement and I took Oxy for a day and I said, I'm not taking this anymore. And she says, what are you going to do for the pain? I said, nothing. I'll suffer through it. She started taking the oxygen.
One of us is not going to be here.
I'm going to
for
listen
this.
to you whine for the next 2 weeks about how sore you are.
Right.
And then I got to hear about how hard
addiction
childbirth
recovery.
was.
Right.
Yeah, we'll push a log through your vagina.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you. But it's just it was a weird thing. So she didn't ask me to do this.
At what point did you make the decision to throw me under the bus and tell her that I edited her out?
I didn't, because
didn't?
you wouldn't know when you said I before I talked to you, I was like, he had to have cut something out. They must have shortened it for the time or the thing, because clearly I couldn't be responsible for this. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no way. Even sober, I'm still like, that's not my fault. I'm sure. Honey, we were in there for 4 hours. They had to cut it into an hour and a half. That's what I didn't know. But then when
talking to me felt like 4 hours.
No, listening to it in the car with her felt like 4 hours. But it was one of those things where I had gotten out, and I clearly, and I'm not on here. We don't have a relationship where it's like I have to. She brought me in here by my ear, and she's like, "Get in there and tell them I got you sober."
Right.
But for my own, I was wrong. Like I missed a huge chunk of the whole reason that I was able to do it. I mean, on New Year's Eve, the last thing somebody wants to do is drink apple cider, bubbly, and, play, what did we play? Poker. I mean, like I was locked in for months. Like I took off 3 months of not going on the road, and I keep looking at her.
So you didn't go to rehab, then you?
No, I did the
was at
90.
home
I did 90 and 90.
Oh, okay.
I just, everything about those 90 days was about me trying to get sober. The detox I did, though, which was stupid. If you think you don't need a detox, I thought that too, and I almost died.
Well, my son just went in, and I'm not breaking any confidence. He called me. He had done a 6-day intensive for PTSD and TBI, and he called me and said that he needed to go back. He had an incident that he felt was a psychotic break or something. And he asked me if I would pay for the 6 days. And I said, absolutely, don't worry about it, And then his wife called me and said he's got a $1,200 a month pot habit. Called him back, and I said, I will not pay for 6. I'll pay for 30. You're going to detox for at least a week.
Yeah.
You need to detox, and then you can make your decision whether or not. But you're locked in for 30. He ended up going 45, and he said it saved his life.
Good,
dude.
dude.
8 months now. I told him, I said, when you make a year, I will fly to Montana, and it'll be the proudest day of my life to give you a 1-year chip.
Yeah.
To hand that to you.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really proud of him.
It's so weird the way that, like, we go through things ourselves, and it's horrific, and then your kid goes through something, and you actually have a lot more empathy, and you understand. It's not that, and in this day and age, so many people talk about it. I don't think people are as ostracized. I think they still feel ostracized.
Right.
But I think people are starting to get a feel on addiction, and like, you don't just toss somebody out in the streets. It's still terrible. I mean, if you don't have the means, you need. I did my first prison ministry thing, dude.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
No, and it's weird because I found like when I first got sober, there was this old black gentleman, dreadlocks, Vietnam vet, and he was my go-to. Like every morning, he'd be like, "If no one told you they love you today, I do." I say that on my podcast just because of this dude. So we were talking, and I was going like. And forgive me if I've told you this before, but I was going like, dude, today.
I don't really listen to you, Reno.
Good.
So,
then just sit there quietly.
It's all fresh.
By the way, my wife left.
They left.
It was all me that got sober by myself. Let's not be stupid. Come on,
she's
man.
gone.
I know they went to
now we can be honest.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It was me. No. But I was.
That's like this whole podcast with Carolyn had nothing to do with it. It's all me.
We're such comics, man. So, but I was talking to him, and I was like, I'd been sober like 6 months, and I'm like, dude, I went to the batting cages today. And then I rode go-karts. And he goes, how old were you when you started drinking? I was like 13.
Yeah.
He goes, my brother, you're still 13.
Yeah.
So when I went and did this prison ministry thing, I was trying to, all these dudes had like tats on their head and everything. And I'm standing there like, I'm coming in hard. It's a reintegration. They all had 5 years or less left in their sentences. So they're trying to reintegrate them. And these are people who are addicts and alcoholics who have gotten involved in the process of trying to get sober in prison, because there's booze and drugs all over prison too.
Right.
And it doesn't. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm coming in hard. And these guys, they're bald with tats on their heads and they're jacked. And I'm like, I'm coming in hard, right? I'm coming in like, I need to show these guys, I know what they're talking, what they're going through.
Yeah.
But before I started speaking, they all go around the room and say their name and what they wish they were doing. And the first guy was like, I'd like to learn how to ballroom dance. Another guy goes, I want an ice cream cone. Another dude, I want to ride my bike. And I was like, dude, they're just like me.
Right.
They're 13 years old. And then you start hearing stories about foster care and when they were introduced to meth at 10 and all these things. And you don't want to say no one ever had a chance, but these guys are starting off at the bottom, man. Like it was so opening. It opened my eyes so much to the fact that we all have to know that we can be redeemed if we're breathing.
Right.
Right. Regardless of who. And by the way, Jesus specifically spoke of people in prisons and widows and orphans and things like that. So that's why I'm involved with a soldier's child. It's widows and orphans. And then I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to take it literally and for whatever I can do, just kind of drop a seed. But as I listened to him talk, it made me go, dude, I could have been sitting there. The stuff they got busted for.
Oh, absolutely.
You leave a Christmas party, your work party, you had 3 glasses of wine, you T-bone a family of 4 and take them out, and you were married with kids, and you go to church and your life, and dude, I did that every night.
Right.
I mean, I was drunk every day, and if I was driving, what was I doing?
Yeah. When I spoke
drugs.
at the prison, that was my opening line, but for the grace of God.
Yep.
And
did you
believe
feel
me,
weird?
if you sense that there's some judgment here coming from me, you're completely missing the vibe, because believe me. And my favorite thing was, they give you the little panic button, on your belt.
Ours was on a wall, but
anyway, panic button, and I'm doing the math. The guards were 60 feet away. The prisoners were 20 feet away. And I said, not a chance they could get here to save me, right? And they all busted up laughing.
Yeah.
I go, again, I'm just doing the math.
Right, right.
If this thing was actually there for a reason other than, so I said, I don't really need this. But
did you feel, I had like, I remember Waylon Jennings talking about like all these people died in a plane crash and he had survivor's guilt or whatever. They're different, but they're kind of the same. Did you feel like weird that you weren't there?
Yeah,
because it was hard to speak to him for me, because I'm going like,
it's hard. I dealt cocaine poorly, but I dealt it.
Right.
I got out of it relatively quickly because I was late with a payment, and the guy said, get out of your house. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I got paper out on you. I go, what's that? He goes, they're not going to kill you. They're just going to break a bone. And I go, what? I was 3 hours late with a payment, for the guy. And I said, I'm out. He goes, no, we're fine. I go, no, we're not fine, actually. I'm a little scatterbrained,
Yeah.
I don't need to get a broken leg because I'm a day late or whatever,
Right.
So I got out. It probably saved my life. I found out later from a local cop. We were sitting at the bar talking one night, and he said, why'd you stop? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, you were on the radar. And I was only in it like a month, so they knew I was, because I had a big mouth, and I start dealing. I just meet people. Hey, you want to buy some Coke?
Jeff, I'm your pastor.
Yeah, I wasn't cut out. I wasn't cut out. So yeah, you stand in front of these prisoners, and God always reveals your heart. I mean, He always reveals. So it tries to cover the level of hypocrisy down to a manageable part of your life. So I was, and again, my opening thing was, don't ever think for a second that there's any judgment coming from me. I understand circumstances, I understand choices.
Yeah.
I
felt like,
but the whole 13-year-old thing.
it's true, right?
When I got sober at 30 or 31, and when I heard that you are the age emotionally that you are when you started drinking made sense because I was hornier than I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
At 30, 31, Tammy was like, what the heck is, I said, I don't know what's going on with me. And that's when I shared at the meeting. I said, I don't understand this.
You're so horny, and you won't take that blow pop out of your mouth. You're 13 years
Yeah,
old.
I know, you're 13. That's actually funny.
He's eating Hubba Bubba gum,
Hubba
and he
Bubba
wants to have
gum
sex
and-
all the time.
yeah,
I don't know what's wrong with my husband.
twirling it, you know.
You ever put glue on your hands and then you peel it off?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So that was very eye opening to me though.
Me too, dude.
You know, so I told her at one point, I said, you may not want to hear this, but you're married to a 13-year-old right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm hoping to mature at a faster rate. So, you know, you don't have to wait 17 years for me to hit 30.
Right.
You know, but
And you start to look at your decision making and go, I was
and
totally
your
13.
and your reactions to things.
Oh,
you know, like,
argument? Shut up, butthole. That's not something a 40-year-old says to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But I did want to at least get in there that, I mean, dude, without her,
Oh,
I'd
absolutely.
be dead.
I wouldn't be, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's in all seriousness. And I was sitting there going, you know, even in talking about sobriety, I can get very grandiose and make it about me. And I have to be, that's why like on my podcast, I don't have any celebrities. And the reason is because when I was trying to get sober, I'd see a celebrity talk about it, and I'm like, shut up, dude. You got a DUI. Your publicist is making you do this. You're just trying to get another role in the film.
It's funny because I
whatever.
got sober the first time when I was 25 because of Daniel J. Travanti. I was polishing off the remnants of a half gallon of vodka for the day.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the Tonight Show, and he talked about his alcoholism and how it saved his career and everything. Called my dad the next day.
That's
because of
killer.
that. Yeah.
No,
I made a year, but I was still doing cocaine, going to the meetings and doing cocaine.
Right.
I advise against that, by the
right.
way. You know?
There's another meeting on the other
there's
side of the
another
church.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
But,
it came. What I'm trying to do
and
is
it's not because he was a celebrity. He just happened to be.
he had a good. Yeah.
It could have been Joe Blow's on the Tonight Show, but they wouldn't have him on there. But talking about.
But back then, it wasn't. People weren't getting a pat on the back for it.
No.
It was still like so that guy was brave. I'm not talking about guys like that. Like Brian Head Welch, that dude's living it.
Yeah.
Do you know he is the place for corn?
Oh, no.
Dude, you can ever see his documentary. It is unbelievable. But that dude is all in, proven he's for years. I mean, you're corn. You're playing in corn. I mean, that's one of the biggest freaking hard rock bands in history. And they freaking rock. They're so good. But he found Jesus, got off meth, is trying to raise his daughter. Like all these things, it's nuts. But the main reason is I don't say where we go, like because it's a tradition. But I was finding that people I was working with who
Well,
were
it's
in
so funny. Let me
recovery-
talk about that because I got hammered because I mentioned AA.
Yeah.
And I get hammered by the traditionalists. And I said, okay, so I say I'm a member of a 12-step group and I'm an alcoholic. You think anybody puts the two together? I mean,
they know.
Yeah, they know. So
They know.
I'm not, again, I'm not trying to be arcane about it. I mean, and when I got in there, I was an atheist. I didn't believe in God. And they told me, pray. I said, to what? And find something. And I wouldn't be here without that 12. I would not be here today. I would not be married. I know that.
Right.
Without those people. And I thank them
100%.
every year. My birthday's September 29th. I get on there and I thank the thousands and thousands of strangers who kept me alive all around the world.
Dude, me too.
Yeah. And
No, and people that that think that they don't give back have no idea how much those shares mean. Have no idea.
Right.
But the thing for me is what I'm trying to do is fill the space. Where, because I'd talk to a guy and he'd be like, I'm like, you coming tomorrow? I can't. I'm a truck driver. And I was like, hold up. So basically what it is it's a recovery meeting for people who can't get to one.
Right.
So I built a catalog of 50 episodes. So it hits like, if I've been incarcerated and I'm going for a job interview, how do I explain that? I have a doctor come on and explain. He does this stuff.
Oh, wow.
So,
cool.
And he's also in recovery. Everybody is in recovery that's on it. But I just didn't want, because of I'm just trying to do it different. I don't care how many people listen to it. I just want the right people to listen to it. If there's 50
God
people
will
that
bring
listen,
the right people
he does, and that's what I'm depending on.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, those seeds that you throw out, and you'll never know. The guy could be sitting there polishing off the last of a half gallon of vodka.
Yep.
And hear that and just go, Dad, I need help.
Yeah. And I don't want to be in the business. Here's the main reason. It's because of my own weakness. Like, I don't take any money for it. Like, if I do something for money or for likes or anything, I'm going to destroy it. I know it. I do it all the time.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, if I'm not focused on, like, I feel like God wants me to do this podcast thing or whatever it is in my life, I can take that and go, yeah, and how can I make money at it? I'm already off.
Well, it's so funny you say that because since I moved to Nashville 30 years ago, I've wanted to write a song. And my motive was I want mailbox money.
Yeah.
Never written a song. And it hit me like about a year and a half ago. I was praying or something. I go, come on, I want to write a song. He goes, well, change your friggin' motive.
Right? It's totally.
Can I glorify you? Can I glorify somebody else other than me?
I'm going to put your name in it.
Well, that's it. It was so funny, though, because it was like a freight train. All these years, I've been telling Tammy, I can't write poetry. I can't write. What's wrong with it? I got this block.
Yeah.
And I said, all I wanted was I just want the mailbox money.
Yeah.
I know guys that have written one song and they've lived off of the one song, the royalties.
Absolutely.
So it's just one.
Somebody wrote Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. And Jamie Johnson wrote it.
Right.
And when they asked him why he didn't sing it, he goes, I'm not singing that stuff. Yeah, but he wrote it. And I'm like, I could write Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. Like, it doesn't even.
Well, that was the point.
A 3-year-old can sit out
breaky heart or
incoherent.
Something. Yeah. I could do that. No, I can't, apparently.
I can't either.
Yeah. So, but motives are important, I think, to God. And you can't lie to him because you can't get on your knees and go, all right, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear.
Right.
He goes, no, I know what your motive is.
Yeah.
And so I obviously would love to make money. My goal with this was at some point I want to get off the road and I still want to do things creatively. And I thought a podcast keeps me off the road.
Absolutely.
And it allows me to, but in order to fund it, I have to travel and tell jokes. And I'm hoping in a year or two or whatever that we can get enough.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different. And there's nothing wrong with trying to make
not
a
at all.
living
And I didn't
off
want
a
to niche
podcast.
myself with. I'm going to ask you this because you've niched yourself in. Do you feel like you've covered everything in 50 episodes or whatever?
No way. No way. But there's enough there where what I wanted is if somebody's like, I can't get to a meeting today and I'm struggling with this, you can go through and find it.
Oh, that's cool.
And go, okay, today.
Now, is it just Reno Collier?
It's called Alive and Sober.
Alive and Sober.
Yeah, it's on all the
platforms.
This is the first interview I've done to promote it.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of fun.
Well, the 12 people who watch me will see it.
Well, you know what? Those 12 might turn into 13. You know what? Who cares, dude? If God's got it, he's got it.
That's the whole point. Like you said, if I was doing it for likes and whatever. And
well,
again,
if you were doing it for
to me, but it was interesting to me. Somebody said to me one day, I said something about, I did a show with a Tyler Galdwin, a pastor out of Lebanon, Tennessee. Really, really interesting interview. And I looked at one point, I said, it's got like 1,000 views or something. And I thought, it's all it's got. And the guy goes, that's a pretty big congregation.
Yeah.
When you think about it in terms of eyeballs.
Right.
And you never know out of that 1,000 whose heart will be fed for that or make a change or go to their wives and repent or something. And you don't know. I mean, that's the beauty of the internet.
Let me ask you this. So we're both hoping that we're spreading love to people and trying to help them, right? So if I drive 45 minutes to get here, do this for an hour and a half, drive 45 minutes home, and one person decides to make a change and they get to see their kids again on the weekend, it's all worth it.
It is.
Dude, if I knew 50 people were going to be changed, I would be ecstatic. Not that a podcast is going to change anybody, but it's just little seeds. It's just little thoughts. It's little things. And that's what ends up being important when you look back.
And those seeds and thoughts have changed our lives.
Absolutely.
There were people, in hindsight, there were people that came in. My favorite answer to a prayer was you ever see Wonderful Life?
Oh, one of my favorite
Oh,
movies.
yeah. When George is praying at the bar and his
Yeah.
answer to the prayer is a punch in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know? Isn't that the greatest answer to
Oh,
him?
yeah.
And it sends him on this journey that ultimately changes his
Lulu's
life.
pedals.
Yeah.
Lulu's pedals.
Lulu's
Yeah.
pedals.
Yeah. Zuzu. Yeah.
Yeah, Zuzu. But it was just so funny, man, because I was such a cynic. I have watched that movie every Christmas Eve for 45 years, 50 years almost, long before I met Tammy. We're married 40 years. Every year, and it's because of that. Dear God, I need this. Bailey, bam. And as I became a believer in divine, there are no coincidences. There are, sometimes God uses pain.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't order up the punch in the face, but he goes, well, since you've been punched, I think I can use this.
That's right.
Well,
Plus, sometimes you don't learn unless you get punched in the face.
Well,
it's like, listen, because George also said, not that it's real life, we're acting like,
right.
but he also said, like, I'm not a praying man. I'm not I did with this. And
that's what the gift of desperation is.
That's right. That's why, dude, I don't wish everybody was an alcoholic, but I almost wish everybody'd hit a rock bottom because I just was treading water. I was playing both sides of the fence, and people, and I don't care about these people, but they're like, dude, the Jesus stuff, man. I don't stand-up comedy, and who cares? I'm 55. I was supposed to be dead according to the doctors 5 years ago. I'm not going out the Reno show.
Right.
By the way, I do have a new television show coming out called The Carve Off, if you'd like to check that out.
Well, let's talk about that.
scumbag.
You were filming it because the last time I wanted you on here, you were in the process of filming that.
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was. I'll tell you. Can I tell you a crazy story?
That's what this is all about, man.
All right,
Crazy.
it's a little bit. It's a little bit long.
Crazy has a home here.
It's a little bit long, but it is one of those things where when
as long as I make my tea time.
You got it.
Okay.
I can see the clock.
Okay,
we're good, buddy.
Oh yeah, we're good.
So, I was pitching this idea for the podcast, right? And I was talking to somebody, Cable Guy's wife, and I'm sorry, to Damien, and then Cable Guy's wife calls me and goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm pitching this podcast about Jesus and sobriety, but every avenue I have to be able to promote it is not going to let me talk about Jesus. Not because they're anti-Jesus, but their show isn't set up. They don't want religion or politics or radio, Bob and Tom, all these different things in it." And she goes, "Don't talk to anybody else about it. I'm going to have somebody call you." I didn't know she was on the board at Back to the Bible. This Arnie Cole guy calls me and goes, "Hey, man, listen, I want to talk to you about this when you come to town." I go to town to meet up with Cable Guy to go on tour. He comes out and meets me, and he's like, "Hey, man, here's what we're looking at. Here's what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. We'd love to do this with you." And I'm kind of like, Back to the Bible sounds so churchy. I don't know. I go, dude, first of all, if I was to do it, I need something else going on to be able to promote that so that I can just pull this in with it. And I don't have anything. Right? The next day, Jeff, my phone rings and this guy goes, "Hey, man, I don't know if you remember me, but I came to your show down in Florida and we had you up for a commercial for this construction company." I worked construction during COVID.
Yeah.
He goes, "We had you up for this commercial and you didn't get it, but we have this show. We're doing 13 episodes called The Carve Off, and it's this chainsaw carving competition show. We'd love to put you on tape." I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right?
Yeah.
So Cable Guy's kids take my phone. We go down. They just happen to have all these saws and stuff in a barn that's having work done. I don't read any of the lines. I'm acting like I'm cutting my hand off. I'm jacking around. We dropped that Jackal song with the chainsaw in the back. Yeah. Send it off. He goes, "Dude, they freaking love it, but they want another video of you introducing yourself to the sponsors." All right, cool. I go, "I can, but I got to be on stage in like 20 minutes. We're in a casino. I'm out with Cable Guy still."
Yeah.
I go, "All right, let me make it real quick." So what I do is I go in the room with the lights, like the actors' lights and all that, and I start recording, and I go, "Hi, I'm Reno. I've been a comedian for 30 years. I've been in some movies. I've done a lot of TV stuff, but my favorite thing to do is host television because I approach it with no ego. Like I eat with the crew. I don't think an ego will do anything but destroy any creative situation. And the door opens up, cable guy comes in and he goes, hey man, you're on stage in 15 minutes. And I go, shut up and get out of my dressing room, jackass. And he looks at me and he goes, well, let me tell you this. The crew is eating dinner right now, and it'd be nice if for once you'd sit with them. And I just look in the camera and I go, nah, and I hang up on him. Right? They call me back. They go, dude, you got it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And they're like, no, we're filming in September. So check this out. Yeah. So I fly back home. It's 4th of July. We're in the pool with our friends from church. And there was a couple, Ben and Susan, who had sat in front of us, who moved from California. They sat in front of us for 2 years at the time, and we become friends with them. They're in the pool. My in-laws are in the pool. My wife's in the pool. And Sandy goes, hey, tell Ben and Susan what's going on. And I go, I just got this show that I'm hosting, this chainsaw carving competition thing. And I was in Nebraska talking to this guy about a podcast about Jesus and sobriety. And she goes, where in Nebraska? And I go, Lincoln. And she goes, you're not talking about Arnie and Char Cole at Back to the Bible, are you?
Oh my gosh.
And I go, yeah. And she goes, we've been friends with them for 30 years. We were with them when their son overdosed and died.
Holy cow.
And it hit me at once. Dude, that's why he's so into doing this podcast. That's why they want me to do it. And why would these people from Stockton, California be on the corner of downtown Murfreesboro and First Presbyterian Church sitting right in front of me, right? I'm like, I just look up in the sky and I'm like, dude, I'm in. I'm in. I got it.
Right.
So I get to start doing the show. And one of the episodes, they carve me. Because I put that in my audition tape like a moron, not thinking it through. Yeah. And I'm going, what do you mean they're going to carve me? He's like, you're going to come out in like boxers and they're going to have to carve you out of this huge log. And I'm like, oh no, right? Because I was not in shape. And I'm like, fat is funny. Skinny is fine. In between at 54 is gross, right? So I call Tim Wilkins and I go, Tim, does the bodybuilding.
Yeah, fat me up.
Yeah, no. I go, what do you freaks do to get jacked in 2 months? Sends me a thing, right? Yeah. I go on a diet. I work out like crazy. I get there. I'm in shape. I talk them into doing a cutout of my picture instead of me standing there for 8 hours in boxers. Right. And they put the cutout out. I come out. I start making jokes. I'm like, yeah, it looks like, because I have real skinny legs. Yeah. Sandy said my legs look like I broke them and just had my cast removed, like there's neuropathy or something. Yeah. So I'm making all these jokes, right?
Good stiff breeze. They hum like a tuning fork.
Right. Dude, right. And I'm in show mode. I'm like, bing, bang, boom. Yeah. I blow the horn for him to start carving, and this dude goes, come here for a minute. And I come over, and he goes, hey, I did some research on you, and I'd like to carve you in the sense of your walk with Jesus and sobriety.
Wow.
I have made fun of people crying on television for years.
Right.
You'll have to watch the episode. It felt like God was like, nah, dude, we ain't waiting for the podcast. We're doing it now.
Yeah.
And the episode plays out. I can't give it away, but it was unbelievable. And people say, when I tell them that, my friends are always like, guys are, oh, dude, everything just happened to fall into place. It happens all the time.
Right.
I
always said the coincidence is the atheist miracle.
Right.
Yeah. It's a good way to blow off things that impossibly come together.
There's no way that couple was sitting in front of me for 2 years at First Presbyterian Church and happened to be in the pool. I mean, dude, Stockton, California and Murfreesboro, Tennessee, for these two people, it's amazing how it plays out. And when I say stuff like that, which I believe 1,000%, that doesn't mean my whole life's like that.
Not at all, man.
You know what I mean?
These are these heartbeats.
They're God winks.
Well, it's interesting that the day after I committed my life to Christ, I just said, I'm yours. I don't even know what that means. I really didn't. I was at a friend's house after a 1.5-year friendship and, studying the Bible for a few months. And I met the pastor and all of this. I'm sitting on the end of my bed. My kids are in the other room. My wife is in Ohio. We're separated. We're not doing well. Looks like we're going to get a divorce. And I'm on the end of the bed, and I felt different. I felt light. I felt, and I see in this valley in front of me, and it dawns on me the day before I got on my knees and I said, okay, Jesus, I'm yours. Whatever that looks like, I'm yours. And I said, I wonder if that's what this feels like. And then I see in my mind's eye, I was here. Things that happened to me that it could have ended my life. T.P. Mulrooney, the comedian. I don't know. T.P. and I were on a train at 3 o'clock.
Wait, am I thinking of John Mulrooney?
No, you're thinking of John Mulrooney.
Yeah.
T.P. was a comic in Chicago. And we were drunk on the L train, just talking. And we wind up, in the hood, South Side at 3 in the morning. I don't know. Anyway, it was not good. And the trains come every half hour. So, we looked and thought, we got 20 minutes before the next train. 8 or 10 guys see us on the platform. They come up and they circle us like hyenas. I mean, they're taunting us and circling. And one of them looks at TP and goes, "You're a comedian." And TP goes, "Yeah, I'm a comedian." He says, "I was at your show Wednesday night at Zany's. You're a funny man. What are you doing out here?" And he goes, "We're lost." He goes, "Damn right you're lost." And they sat there like guardian angels for 20 minutes.
Really?
And I got on that train with TP and I said, out of a city of 3 million, how many people were in that room? He said, maybe 20.
Oh, so he's not selling tickets.
No, this was back when nobody sold tickets.
Right.
The club was the draw. So anyway, years later, I get on my knees, I say, "I'm yours." And then the next day, for the first time in 20 whatever years, I think about it. And he goes, "No, I was there." And then the skeptic in me goes, "Where were you when the family of 4 got off the exit on the south side and got slaughtered at a gas station?"
Yeah.
For getting gas. So there's this part of you that wants to put one foot in the world and the other foot in the vine. Well, I'm both feet in now and just go, I'll pay attention to punches in the face.
Yeah.
It isn't just a punch in the face. It's what are you trying to tell me?
It's like that adage where, I don't know if it's an adage, I don't even know what that means, but it's where a guy's sitting on a fence and Jesus is on one side and the devil's on the other. And Jesus goes, "Hey man, I can give you eternity. I can give you love. I can give you light." And the devil goes, "I can let you do whatever it is your heart desires," right?
Right.
And the guy's sitting on the fence. He's like, "You know what? I kind of like it up here." And Jesus disappears and the devil looks at him and goes, "I own the fence."
I never heard that. That's
right?
great.
So that's how I look at it. Like, I can't stay on the fence. And not only that.
Well, I think the Bible said it. Your lukewarmness makes me vomit. I vomit your lukewarmness.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously paraphrasing. That's from the
book
of Jeff. But
the book of Jeff.
Yeah, it's in the Bible.
In the book of matches.
Somewhere. That's in there somewhere. It's so funny, though, that most people, including me, are illiterate enough that you could tell me if you said it with authority, I'd go, "Oh, I didn't even know that was in there."
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. I did not know that.
Right. It's one of those things where, when you feel it, and find it. And you and I were both in a situation. Alcohol and drugs are undefeated. They're gonna win eventually if you stay on it. I mean, there's nobody gets out alive. You can look at Keith Richards and whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
he died 37 years ago.
He had to have. Had to have. Yeah. But when you look at that and you go, all right, I was given this gift, right? Now, when you get a gift and you don't share it with other people,
right,
you're lonely and you're a jackass because you're selfish. I feel like, and tell me if you feel like this, I feel like I need to tell people, man. I want them to know. Right. I want them to have it. I want them to, they're like, well, what if you don't sell as many tickets? You've done that your whole career. Not your whole career, but when you found Jesus, your act changed, your whole demeanor, everything changed.
Well, I got out of the clubs because, one, I couldn't draw an audience. That was the main reason. But 2, I wanted to be in an environment where it was comfortable to share my story. And again, that comes from the 12-step program where you share your experience, strength, and hope.
Yeah.
So when I brought the comedy into a church, my thought was, and Tammy and I talked about it, my gosh, they're paying you out of tithes and offerings. What are you offering outside of the comedy? Not realizing that the comedy was a ministry as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the healing benefits that come from laughter with endorphins and all the positive stuff. But I thought, well, I got a story. So I loved telling the story because it's about God's redemption and restoration.
Yeah.
It's not about me, nothing I did. On my best day, I'm laying next to a dumpster half naked in my waist.
Right.
So why wouldn't you shout that from the rooftops?
Yeah.
And now that I'm back in clubs and theaters doing stuff, I wrote about it in a book, so now I can share the book, but I can't sell the book unless I tell them what's in the book. So now I get a chance to talk about, and it's so funny because I got on my knees one day and I was basically telling God, I'm tired of telling the story about what a dirtbag I was. And basically that voice inside of you it's pretty loud at times said, you'll tell the story till I give you another one to tell. It's not your story.
Right.
It's really not.
Yeah.
And so I'll tell it. I know there's people probably tired of hearing about it, but there's people that haven't heard it. There's 6 billion people, and you never know. As if you're honest and talking from the heart, it can be used.
Yeah.
And
for good, for something that's...
Well, that's it. You can lay your head on a pillow at night and go, you know what? I took some arrows, I took some shots, but consider the source.
Right.
And I also look at the people.
Is probably sad.
Well, that's it. You don't know the wounds they carry, and I've learned anything about recovery, we do what we do because we're wounded deeply, and the more you heal those wounds, the more you allow God to heal those wounds, the less damage you do to yourself and others.
Yeah.
You just all of a sudden there's this desire to figure out how to love. And I remember telling Tammy, I don't know if you've said this to Sandy, but I when we were getting a divorce, I said, "You deserve better than me." I loved her.
Yeah.
I just was damaged. I said, maybe this is permanent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying, and that's what I told her. And we ended up, obviously we're married 40 years, and she gets on my nerves constantly.
That's what you always say.
I know.
I'm just trying to get you in trouble like I was. I wasn't in trouble.
I wasn't in trouble.
I
Six times in this podcast.
Sandy is the best.
Yeah. I think every 20 or 30 minutes we should just throw that in there.
I love you, honey.
I love you, baby.
If we're listening to this in the car and it's raining outside and it's dark, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, I love you. So what's going on outside of the podcast? You're touring with Larry?
We really just golf more. Dude, to be honest with you, I don't care about stand-up as much anymore. Like, I love doing it. I love being on stage, but the road has
Well, you don't fly.
No.
You're my road buddy. When I'm driving, I know, and I know it's a weekend. Chances are you're in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't fly anywhere. If you got a 12-hour drive, you leave a day early.
Yeah.
And you drive.
Well, dude, we almost died in a plane crash. And in a real tiny plane.
Well, here's a story for you. I'm getting the Grady Nutt Award, the only award I've ever won. It's for a gospel comedy or something. And I want to be back to get it. So I hire a plane, little prop job in Pennsylvania to fly me back. So I'm home in the morning to go to this award thing. Well, anyway, it's a 4-seater prop thing. And I'm sitting there, and I hear all these alarms going off.
Dude, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. And I kind of wake up, and I look, and I realize the pilot's whatever. And I'm thinking I could die. Well, I pray. If this is it, Lord, let the people in my life know I loved them more than anything in the world, and I'm in a better place. Honestly, that was my reaction to it. And anyway, I looked out the plane, and we're landing in Nashville, and there's all these ambulances and police things. And we land, and we get out of the plane, and the pilot's lighting a cigarette, And I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Lost our hydraulics." And I go, "Is that a bad thing?" He goes, "Couldn't steer the plane." Couldn't steer the plane.
Dude.
But we happened to be on the course landing. So now here's the story. I get to the Grady Nutt Award, and anyway, I said, "How did Grady Nutt die?" "In a plane crash." I went, "Really?" I go, "My God." So anyway, I said, I don't want another Grady Nutt Award. I don't want anything to do with Grady Nutt.
Yeah.
But that was, dude, that was my near plane crash.
Dan looked at me and goes, "Dude, this is it." Like he tried to get up to the pilots to tell him to get out. The whole thing was a disaster. I had, whether true or not, whether it didn't happen, but I was convinced we were dead. And I started praying. I mean, I was asking for forgiveness for stuff I don't even know if I did. Like, you
Vietnam
know what I mean?
War.
Yeah, and then I can't.
I didn't mean to start it.
I can't listen to my playlist because it's like Skinner, Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Denver. You know, it's like, you know, like I can't. I'm like, just calm down, calm down.
I've always thought Denver was a satanic. If you played it backwards.
Oh yeah, Country
It was
Roads
about
backwards.
destroying the environment.
Yeah.
Destroying God's creation.
Right. That Denver. Yeah. But dude, when stuff like that happens,
So you don't fly anymore? That's amazing to me.
I will again commercially. I'll never fly private again.
Really?
I've been
Even
in
like
too
a
many, dude. Too many.
Gulfstream or
No. Nope.
I flew on a singer's plane, and I loved it. I thought private was the way to go.
When I was drinking, I loved it
Yeah,
because I didn't care. But I don't love it anymore.
yeah,
And getting bounced around at 40,000 feet, and it's not.
yeah. But you're pretty safe to figure on a Friday or Saturday if I call.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're driving.
Although I'm not
somewhere.
going on the road this summer at all.
You're not.
I'm just doing the podcast and spending time with family, and I'm gonna have to do stuff for the TV show, like voiceovers and pickups and stuff like that. But
Well, we need to play some golf.
I'd love to.
I'm on the road a lot. I have a wife that wants things. You know,
My wife wants things too, but
you just tell her screw you.
it's kind of like her wanting me to talk about her.
Yeah, you know, it's like
it might happen, it might not. No, I got
So you're about what, 16 years old now?
me. Shut up, Jeff.
Shut
butthole.
Butthole.
Poop face. It's I just needed a break. I had to take a break for a minute.
Yeah.
And like I'm doing some corporate stuff in the fall and these Christian film festivals and stuff like that. But I love the idea of talking about getting sober to a room full of people drinking. And I was like going, well,
Did you ever thought about working a comedy show around, like a one-man show type? Because that entered my mind years ago. I thought, you know, take the story, build an ebb and flow. It's almost like, you know, it's interesting when I was listening to, I read a lot of John Bradshaw back in the 80s when I was getting sober. And that's all about family dynamics. I don't know if you remember him, but he had the mobile, and the center of the mobile was the parents and all the children on the outside, and he would tap the parents and the whole mobile would move. And anyway, he was very popular in the 80s. And I remember people telling me how funny he was. And I watched him on the PBS, and I thought, he's got a joke every 18 minutes.
right.
You know, and I thought, well, gosh, I could do that. I could write a joke every 18 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, and again, I loved talking about recovery. I loved, because it was so new and refreshing to realize, you know what, I was in that mobile. I mean, the wounds that I had were not. Again, I didn't look at my parents and go, you know. And I told my children this. This will shock you, but we didn't wake up every morning and figure out a way to screw you up. I mean,
right.
we didn't sit there, oh, we did this, we did this, we did, oh, there's so much more we can do to F them up. You know,
Yeah.
we'll do this, and this. So I said we did what we knew, you know, and we weren't qualified, certainly to have children, but I don't know how many people
Nobody
are.
is.
Nobody is.
Nobody is. And if they tell you they are, then they really have problems.
That's a problem because the ego's, you know. So, you know, I just, and then I hired somebody to write a one-man show around the first 6 chapters of the book, of the getting sober, that decade of the ages of 31 to 40 before I gave my life to Christ. I said, this may make a good play.
Yeah.
One-man show. So I had a guy help me, wrote it out, and I did a table read at the house. And Tammy hid behind the dishwasher and cried throughout the whole thing. And I gave him his money. I said, I'm not doing this. I could not do this for 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
It was 6 nights, 5 nights. I couldn't do 5 shows a week doing this.
Well, I know you get this too, but and the other thing is the reason I'm taking time off is I'm trying to write different stuff because a lot of what I talk about doesn't go with what I believe anymore.
Oh, I get
Like, so it's like, you know, I'll do a joke and then I get off and what started to mean something was I would do a show.
And that's conviction, not condemnation.
Right.
That's a conviction. That's your heart going,
Yeah, it's a bit much, Reno.
Yeah.
And especially because you have this chunk in the middle of your act about how God saved your life and how sobriety saved your life and how Sandy had a big part in that too. But like it started to mean more to me. Like it used to be, I'd stand out and shake hands and people would be like, man, it was so funny, whatever. Then every once in a while, someone would go, hey, dude, I listened to you on Bob and Tom, and I've been sober for 6 months, and you really helped me talking about the thing. That meant, where it didn't used to, I never even had that. That meant more to me than somebody going, dude, that was so funny. I love that bit about the. I just kind of was like, oh, thanks. It's like I wasn't giving them anything that came.
Yeah, but also understand that the laughter heals as well. And
Absolutely.
I learned that coming out of COVID. That's how long people would say to me at the church, love your ministry. And I go, I'm a comic,
Right.
It's not a ministry. But when I had husbands with tears in their eyes, when their wife was in the bathroom, they would come to me and go, it's the first time I heard my wife laugh in 3 years.
Dude, that is a gift.
That is. That's something that we've been given by the divine. As again, there's too many healing benefits to laughter for it to not be by design.
Oh, dude, laughter and joy. I mean, look around at people.
Yeah.
People are freaking miserable.
A lot of them are.
And giving them an hour to laugh is huge.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for
people
for
ask me all the
personally.
time, and they probably ask you the same thing. I don't know. What can people expect from your show? I said, distraction. I said, I'm a distraction for an hour, hour and a half, man. I said, just come on out, forget about your day, your problems. And my dad pointed that out to me. He went to see, my dad could not wait to go to Las Vegas. He never had any money to go, couldn't afford it. And then he worked for a guy who liked him and said, I'll take you to Vegas. Come on, let's go. All he wanted to see were the comedians. And Alan King was his favorite comic.
Yeah.
And when he came home, I said, how was it? He goes, the biggest disappointment was Alan King. And I go, really? He goes, why? He goes, all he talked about was taxes and the government and he goes, I didn't pay whatever I paid to have some rich guy tell me how bad things were.
Right.
So anyway, I've never forgot that because I went through a phase back in the 90s where I was so miserable in my sobriety. I had to have a reason. So I just pointed at the Republicans and the Democrats.
Yeah.
And I said, it's them. They're the reason I'm miserable.
Right.
The whole country's screwed up, and that's why I'm miserable.
Yeah.
And God, I lost work. I lost work all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was screaming about everything, Clinton, whatever.
Yeah.
I had some little old lady come to me after a show. You are rotten from the tip of your head to the tip of your toe. And I said, F you, lady. I'm going to pound your head into your chest cavity.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just backed away from it. And the couple of jokes I did during the Biden administration, people commented, reached out. I don't read a lot of comments. Carolyn does. She gets mad for me. But they said, don't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. We listen to you because you don't go there.
Right.
There's enough of that. I mean, if you want it, you can get it.
Anywhere.
But, Larry, did he ever put any restrictions on you?
No.
Yeah.
No, dude, he should have fired me every day for 20 years. His first ever arena tour, dude, here's how his first ever arena tour, 17,000 people in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am out by the bus getting drunk with some politicians or whatever. I don't even know what time I'm supposed to go up, whatever. I'm talking, the guy ended up getting a DUI and getting kicked out of Senate, whatever. We're standing out there, and I'm like, you don't know anything about it. I'm telling him politics. Like, I didn't know he was a Democrat, and I'm.
Isn't it amazing after a quart of vodka or something, how
come
smart you get?
Oh, brilliant. They come running out, and they're like, Reno, you're on stage in like 3 minutes. I'm like, I'll be back. And I go running in. I go up. I do 25 minutes, and I go, thank you. Good night. And I walked off the stage. And cable guys stand there like, you didn't bring me up.
Oh, you're supposed to bring
I was supposed to introduce him. I didn't even. My whole job is just to talk while 20,000 people get seated. It's all about me.
For him.
Yeah.
Those 17,000
But
are
they
not
came
there
to my
see,
show.
right.
Everybody wants to pay $100 to see 25 minutes of some guy they don't know who he is. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's that old Albert Brooks bit. But first, are you ready for Santana?
Yeah.
But first.
Dude, one night when I was out with Jeff and Bill and Cable Guy. And Ron didn't go out. That's how I got that gig. He's like, I'm not going to go try to be clean. I don't want to. So they threw me on it. So we're in Knoxville. They're about to introduce me to come out. And the tour manager has the microphone. And what he's trying to say is he just got off the road with Ron White. Please welcome Reno Collier. He just got off the road didn't come through the microphone. What came out was Ron White. And the whole place is like,
oh my God.
Oh. And he goes, please welcome Reno Collier. And I'm like, oh my gosh. No. Dude, I used to have dreams that those guys were sitting in the middle of the arena and I was upstairs running around and I couldn't get down.
Oh my gosh, that's
awful. Like it was a great opportunity, whatever. It was not fun.
Yeah, because they're disappointed.
They're disappointed.
Yeah,
I mean,
we wanted to see Ronnie.
Like, here's at that time, it was like, here's the Beatles, but Paul's not here. Right. Here's his little cousin.
You're going to play bass.
Jeff McCartney.
Right.
You know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah. I had a buddy years ago back in Chicago when I was living in Chicago. It was like early '80s. Was supposed to open for Jerry Lee Lewis, and at the Blue Max in Chicago. And right before the show starts, they tell him do 45. He said, well, I thought I was going to do 20. He goes, no, Jerry's not coming. The IRS called the Blue Max and said, if you pay Jerry Lee Lewis a nickel, you're responsible for all his back taxes. So they called Jerry and told him, we're not going to pay you. He goes, well, Jerry says, I'm not coming. So they tell Jerry, my friend Jerry, he goes, do 45 and then tell him Jerry Lee ain't coming. He goes, no way.
Yeah.
Because they're going to rearrange the architecture of this place and I don't want to be part of that. So anyway, he just did his 35 or 40 and then left. Didn't say anything. So then they had to do an over the thing, Mike. Jerry Lee Lewis is canceled. He's not coming.
Dude, those old opening, like when I first I was doing open mic or whatever, and then you'd get booked all over the Southeast, like Comedy House Theater, and I was used to the Punchline in Atlanta. That was packed every night, and it was like cake, right? You go up and people. So I got booked, and I would only be doing stand up like 6 months in Ocala, Florida, at the Holiday Inn in their lounge. That was like a Comedy House Theater at the time, making like $150 a week. I show up,
bragger.
I know. Oh, yeah, I was rolling in it. But you got a free hotel, and I didn't have anywhere to live, so I'd take 2 weeks at a time.
Absolutely.
First night of the 2 weeks. But then they charge you, because there were no shows Monday, Tuesday. You had to pay for your own hotel. They got their money back. It was a total scam. So I walk into the lounge of the Holiday Inn, and the show's supposed to start in like 10 minutes. And there's nobody in there. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, hey. And I go, where's the comedy club? And they go, you're in it. And I go, this is the, and he goes, look. And there was like a 2-foot streamer of bricks that was wallpapered on the thing. And there's like a box to stand on.
When did bricks become?
I have no idea, dude. It's always bricks.
Yeah, we have bricks.
You have bricks here?
Yes, we do.
So this old couple walks in, the lights are still on, and they sit down, they get a drink, and they get some popcorn. And I'm talking like they were probably in their 90s. And I go, when's the crowd get here? And they go, this is it. And the other two comics, there was a guy, Steve Brewer, and some, I can't remember the other guys. Anyway, I go, hey, just so you guys know, I'm not going up there. And they're like, yeah, you are. And I go, I'm not going up.
You want your room?
I'm the opener. I'm like, I'm not going up there for 2 people. And they're like, yes, Reno, are you a comedian or not? Like that, this is what we do. You have to suck it up and muscle through it. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. You know, this is ridiculous. So they turn the lights off and hit the spotlight on this 2-foot piece of wallpaper, and you hear, dun, 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 dun. Are you ready for some comedy? And I hear the old guy go, why are the lights off? And I'm like, oh, no, dude. And they're like, please welcome to the stage. You're host and MC. And then it stops. They don't even have your name. It's a recording.
Yeah, I know.
And I walk up on stage. At first, I'm like, I'm not going up there. And the manager goes, go up there. And this older couple can hear all this. And I'm like, no, I'm not going up there for 2 old people. And he's like, get up on stage or you're not getting paid. I'm like, fine. I walk up on stage, I'm just being a jerk. I'm like, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm high-fiving the empty tables and everything. And I go, does anybody have any questions? And this old guy goes, why are the lights off? Turn the lights back on. And I go, are you ready for your feature act?
I can't see this hottie I met in the bar.
I go right into, are you ready for your feature act? I didn't do any time. The guy in the back's like, F you! I'm like, please welcome to the stage from Detroit. I was up there 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I bring him up. He goes into this bit about porn and these things, and these people are wandering around filling up popcorn. There's nobody in there. This guy the manager lays into me. He goes, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'll fire you. I don't need you. You don't have that. This is not how this works. And I'm like, what kind of a dump is in there? Because I thought comedy clubs were the punchline.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
I'm like, there's people in there eating corn with no salt on it. Have you eaten in the free food? Of course it's free. This stuff is for people that are in a retirement home.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a disaster.
My first trip
Then
to
I
Vegas.
did it for 30 more years.
Yeah, I was going to say, my first trip to Vegas, one of those open air lounges, you know, with the curtains, you know.
Oh, God.
And 15 people in the room. And in the middle of my set, you hear all the bells, somebody hit a jackpot. All 15 people get up and run to like Pavlov's dog.
Yeah.
They just run out to the thing. And I'm standing there with nobody. And I go, do I have to keep talking? You want to get paid? You keep talking. You know? So I just kept talking.
And that's all you could do.
And nobody came back. And it was like,
I remember when I was moving out to California, I didn't have any money. I'd saved like $2,500. And I had to work my way out to pay my way out for gas.
Right.
So I went.
That's what we all did.
Yeah. So I had like a show in New Orleans on one of those Harrah's.
Yeah, I went northern. I went to Nebraska and Colorado.
Yeah.
And
but you had to make your money, right?
New Mexico.
So I show up to do the show in New Orleans at the old Harrah's on the boat that you had to gamble on the water back then.
Oh, right.
I show up to do it.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember and Mutzi. Remember Mutzi? He was like the house MC.
No.
I think he passed away. But
I worked with, who's the guy that was in all those Police Academy movies?
Michael Winslow?
Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
I worked with him on that.
Well, he was like the house MC.
Yeah.
And he went up and they were giving a car away. And there's like 500 people in there.
Of course, for the car.
Right? He goes up, he does his set. And then he goes, before I bring up your next act, we're going to give the car away. And he brings out this big ball and spins it, and somebody wins, and they go, da-da-da-da. Every single person gets up and leaves. I mean, every single person. And I'm like, you did your set, got your stuff in, then you did the freaking
giveaway. I go, Harris flies me down on a private plane. They're signing a new treaty with the tribe somewhere in Missouri.
Yeah.
1,400 people under an outdoor tent. And right before they bring me up, Harris has got a bunch of stuff to give you out over there. So 900 of the 1,200 get up and leave. So there's 300 left. Now they're bussing the tables for a dinner for 1,200 people behind me. I can hear all the clanging and whatever.
Dude.
So I'm doing my thing, you know, and the 300 that were left just gradually got up and left to the point where there were like 40 people left.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, I looked at my watch and said, Harris told me to stay up here until all of you were gone, but you people are gluttons for punishment. I'm done. I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
And then the 40th
Clap.
And it was it. And you wonder, why would you spend the money for a private plane and the $1,000 that they paid?
Yeah.
For
Dude,
what?
I don't know.
For what? To make the announcement. Of course they're going to go to the free stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a casino.
Oh, no, we want to see this guy we've never heard of tell jokes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
The road's net. You know what was funny, though, is when I was drunk as all get out, and I went up and I started playing blackjack. They cashed my check for me at the casino from the show.
Yeah,
that
my
night.
first trip to Vegas. I lost my check by Wednesday.
I cashed it in. I sat down and started playing blackjack. I had like $2,500, $3,000 saved for L.A.
L.A., right.
I get drunk. I don't even remember finishing blackjack. I woke up and all my money was gone, except for like $26. All the California, nothing. I puddle to Texas, make it from Texas to Phoenix to L.A. on fumes. I have no money. I'm eating like hot dogs and ramen noodles for everything. I have an audition, and I go get in my car with this guy, Jeff, and he had the audition too. We get in the car, we start driving. I go, dude, I don't know where I am. I go, give me my atlas out of the thing. He opens it up, pulls the Rand McNally out, and like $5,000 falls out. At some point in my drunken stupor in New Orleans, I went and hid the money so I didn't blow it in my car.
Wow.
And I'm like,
It's the
steaks for everybody.
which is so impressive because you were 13 years old.
I know. For a 13-year-old, that is a master move.
And so you were a mature little teenager.
I was a brilliant 13-year-old at 27.
Yeah, exactly. That is so cool, man. Hey, you do a tournament every year. Well, first of all, you golf. Larry, the cable guy, is an avid golfer.
Yes, he is.
I heard you complaining. You played for 13 straight days.
I wasn't complaining. That's just because my wife was here.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, no,
okay.
I freaking loved every
Well,
second.
it's a good
of it.
thing she doesn't listen to this. You know,
No.
You're going to trap her in a car again.
She's only going to hear the first half.
I guarantee you, if you ever went, hey, let's listen to Jeff Allen's. No. She wouldn't let you finish the
Not again.
sentence. Not again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
anyway.
do. I love it, dude. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it interesting? There's a lot of parallels, especially with the self-flagellation of the alcoholism and the golf addiction.
Well, I think too, I mean, my brain is like a freaking ping pong ball. Just bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
And when I golf, it's all I can do. Like, you're just focused on the ball. You're just focused on your swing. You couldn't fit something else in your head if you wanted to, if you want to hit a good shot.
Yeah.
Like it just makes me disappear for a while. It's an escape.
Well, that's it. I mean, and again, I finally, after I wrote a chapter in my book about the addiction. It almost destroyed my marriage. You know?
Golf?
Yeah, it was so funny. It's not funny. In hindsight, you know, a lot of pain and suffering is funny because of your stupidity, of your stupidity. Right. But, you know, in counseling or something, the counselor said something, Tammy said something like, golf is Jeff's mistress. And the counselor said, no, from what I've heard, it's his wife.
What a jerk. Did you pay him?
Yeah, no, her. Yeah, I went to a woman. I figured my problem was a woman. I'll go to a woman. Maybe she could help me.
Big mistake.
Sort of.
You got to vet him, man.
I did.
Are you on my side or
it
her
was so
side?
funny. I tell people this. If you want to get help, go to a therapist who works for the state. They're not in it for the money.
Right.
They're there to actually help people. And I went in there. I was going to tell her my tale of woe. And she was going to pat my hand and tell me, you poor man, you need to leave this woman. Yeah. And I told her my tale of woe, and she said, if you came here looking for permission to get a divorce, you came to the wrong therapist. Apparently she's heard this from men before. Yeah. So anyway, gosh, no, I want to get help. I want to stay married to this.
The hardest thing, like when I first got sober, everything was, well, at least I'm not drinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your golf 7 days a week. I'm not drinking.
Well, that was the thing about New York meetings. Yeah. You know, the guy would raise his hand and he'd go, I stabbed my wife this morning. And 8 other guys would go, I remember when I did that. Dude. And I'm sitting there feeling guilty because I raised my voice.
Dude, you know? I know this isn't the reason to go, but I love going and hearing people. I remember one time early on, I part of the reason I went back was I was like, these stories are unbelievable.
I know.
Right? But this guy, this big biker dude who goes to this meeting all the time, people were sharing or whatever, and he goes, you know, I got this thing and blah, 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 whatever. He goes, that's all. Oh, hold on a minute. You know, people say to be honest in here, and you should be, but let me tell you this. If you ever killed somebody, don't bring it up in these rooms. Someone will tell you, I got a buddy doing 25 to life. All right, that's all I got, thanks. And I was like, this is the greatest place I've ever been in my life. Like, even if I wasn't an alcoholic, I still want to come back for the...
Oh, my favorite was a guy that used to have his wife handcuff him to the radiator every Friday night, leave a half a gallon of vodka and a porta potty there so he could pee. And he goes, I did that for about 6 months before I realized that's probably not normal.
6 months.
6 months. Every weekend. He goes, well, I wasn't driving. You know, that was the whole point. Yeah. Because he could not drive. Right. So she said, she'd go bowling or whatever.
Just chain him up.
And leave him.
That's old school,
I
man.
thought that was great. And then my other one was, the guy came home. His wife went to Al-Anon and ruined his drinking. Yeah. Because she said, I don't care, kill yourself. And it ruined it for him. He said, prior to that, it was a game.
Right.
And she couldn't figure out why every time I went and did yard work, I came in drunk out of my gourd.
Yeah.
So he comes home one day and the whole yard is dug up of holes. She's looking for his bottle. But anyway, she finally went to Al-Anon and said, I don't care. You can drink yourself to death. I'm done.
Dude, this one little guy.
And he got sober.
This one little guy used to come in, and he's shorter and little, and everything is, I was about to whip his ass. I was about to whip his, So he goes, I was working in Chattanooga at Taco Bell, and I was drunk, man. I had a bottle of liquor in my sock hair, and I was just boom, 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 and I dumped a bunch of the taco meat on the ground and grease, and they're like, get out of here, you're fired. And I was about to whip his ass, but I was like, you know what, man, you come out here. He goes, I'll go outside. He goes, I go outside, I'm giving him the finger. I get in my car, I back up, and I ram into a telephone pole. And everyone's laughing, looking at me out the window.
What a dumb place to put a telephone pole.
He goes, so I look over, there's a strip mall, and there's an Enterprise rental car place. So I go over to the Enterprise rental car deal, and I get in an argument with him about to whip his ass, and then they give me the keys to the car. I get in my car, I drive it home, and I start hearing their squeaking sound or whatever, so I take it home, put it on lift, get it up underneath, and I'm sitting there messing with the car, and I think, damn, how jacked up do you have to be to change the brake pads on a rental car? Like, who does... I don't know. And so, but that was the stuff in the beginning that I was like, man, because in the beginning.
Well, don't you find, though, again, you start laughing. I mean, genuinely laughing for the first time in years.
Yeah.
It's not this drunken, I threw up and,
right.
It's just listening to people. I mean, the insanity.
Yeah.
Of your life at the time, but you're removed from it now. You can look back at the folly and see it for what it was. You know, you were a 13-year-old kid.
Plus, you're not alone.
Well, that's it.
When somebody tells you they did something that's on the same meter as something you did, it gives you comfort. Like, okay, I'm not alone.
Right. I'm not a freak.
I'm not a freak.
Because that's what the enemy uses to remind you. You're so unique. You know, nobody's as bad as you.
Right.
And
there are people way worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And way
That's
better.
why I left that. When I went in at 25, I go, not even anywhere near as bad as these people.
Well, when I first went in, I was looking at everybody. I'm like, dude, these people are like dirty. Like, do they not know I'm on television? Like, do these people not understand? And 2 weeks in, I'm like, oh, no, Reno, you're just like these people. You just have a job that celebrates it.
Right.
That's the only difference.
Right.
I show up to work and people are feeding me drinks before I even get on stage.
Right. Or
these
laying
people
out
get
lines.
fired for, putting the tire on backwards because they're so hammered. And you know what I mean? Like, it's a big, and the things that I consider blessings in my life, having Sandy to be there with me, to say, I'll do it with you, and being so supportive. So many people have nobody.
Right.
Which is why
they've lost everybody.
Which is why I'm doing the podcast Alive and Sober.
Right.
To try to fill that void. No, I'm just kidding. But it kind of is, actually. But
I heard a story years ago. Guy was in Boston wearing a suit and tie, doing his Experience, Strength, and Hope. And he explained why he was putting $5 in the basket every meeting instead of the traditional $1. And he said he would sleep at the Boston Commons, make sure he got the bench by the bus stop so he can laugh at the people on their way to work. And somebody tells him that if you go to a meeting down the street, you can take the money out of the basket. Nobody says anything. So he goes in, basket comes, he takes the money, puts it in his pocket, looks around. He goes, I did that for weeks. Took the money, put it in my pocket. He said, the first time I passed the basket without taking the money, the whole room stood and applauded.
They knew.
Because you think in your head, these idiots, these morons, but yeah, he said, it finally hit me. So anyway, he said, those high-rise down the street, my company built the high-rises. And it said everything you needed to say, man. You get rid of that thing in your life that's destroying it.
Yeah.
And, now you have a chance to be what you were meant to be, in the creative, whether it's creatively or financially or whatever, But
see, dude, that's another thing I'm running into with my act. Is like, who am I really? Like, that's why, like, I
It's
did my
hard to
first.
let go some of that stuff
It is.
because it's like it gets huge laughs, which believe me, we
When
all
you're up
like.
there by yourself, you want those
You want
laughs.
'em,
but like, I started doing shows in churches, and I was like, not a ton of them, but some of them, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to be in clubs where people are drinking. I don't need to talk to people in church. And then Sandy goes, "You were an alcoholic sitting in church."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh yeah," because I used to think if you did churches or cruise ships, you were done. I've done both. Like it doesn't. You're not. If there's a microphone, you think you'd rather go to Ocala, and that's a comedy club, and sit there and do a show for 2, or for people where
Old people going, why is the lights off?
Yeah. I mean, if that's stand-up comedy, why isn't a church? But you know what I'm saying? Like I love.
Well, did you find you're a storyteller?
Mm-hmm.
So I found when I went into the churches, they're actually used to having someone speak for 45 minutes without interrupting and using metaphors.
Right.
So it was a great fit.
Yeah.
It was a great fit. I didn't think anything of it. I was in Vegas on 9/11, and I called Lenny. I couldn't get home. I mean, all of this stuff. I was locked in for 7 days. And I just said to him, I got to find another place to do what I do. And at that point, I was working clean anyway. And that came about because my 4th grade son called his teacher some nasty names, cussed at her. And driving home from the meeting with the teacher, Tammy said, "That's on us." So I curbed my language at home. It's unbecoming on your 4th grade son talks like you do.
Right.
And it's hypocritical for the parent to go, "Those are adult words." Shut up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started cleaning up my show for that reason. I wanted, Cosby said it about Dice Clay. He said, "What's he going to show his kids?" You can't put that in front of it.
What's Cosby going to show his kids?
Well, it was a good fit for me.
Yeah.
I was a brand new believer. I was excited about having bigger audiences. Again, I wasn't a draw, and I got tired of babysitting drunks. I used to say I headlined comedy club. I never headlined a comedy club. I was a closer. I was the 3rd act up out of 3.
Right. Well, you're selling a lot of tickets now.
Well, now I am. Yeah, at this age, it's wonderful. I did an interview recently where the guy said, "What's it like at this age?" I said, "It's great because when it ends, I can quit."
Right. Right.
I'm not 40 years old, and I got 35 more years of life or 30 more years of life to figure out what am I going to do. I mean, I can't.
Right.
The people aren't coming anymore, and I got to do something.
Yeah.
So this is great. I'm in a great season of our lives. And it sounds like you are in just a great place, man.
Dude, I've never been happier. And the other thing I wanted to say, too, is if somebody just is sober curious or whatever, the one thing I didn't see being so important is it was the first time I ever had to be honest in a long time.
Right.
And I didn't know how to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, I know how to be honest.
You lie, you die. That's what I was
Yeah.
told. You lie, you die. So just tell the truth.
But
I
that
hate
was
all
such
you
a
people.
gift.
I would raise my hand and go, "I hate all you people."
Yeah.
I hate it. And
I hate everything about this.
Little old lady came to me after a meeting after about a year and a half. She goes, "I've been listening to you for quite a while. Maybe the problem isn't your wife."
That's hilarious.
Every meeting I'd raise my hand and go, "You know what she did today? You know what she did today?" And I'm still doing it, but now they're paying me.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I put my whole act together.
That's right.
But I just thought, what a blessing and a gift to be in a room full of broken people who know they're broken and to be honest about it. And I remember complaining about personalities. And again, principles before personalities. And that is something that I carried into my church life because I can remember going to some churches early in our walk and Tammy complaining about the personalities. And I go, "Yeah, but did you hear the message of Jesus?
Yeah.
Did you hear the message of redemption, restoration, the beauty of grace and mercy?"
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Right.
I hated that woman over there. I hated her hat. I hated her.
Right.
I go, just take your mind off of everybody else. Because my sponsor told me early, he goes, the same a-holes you met in the bar are in these rooms now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So don't get involved with the personalities. Get involved with the sobriety and find people that will edify you. But be honest with you. and
I like progress, not perfection, too.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
I just
like
got a
that.
call from a comedian, 38 years sober. He calls me. He goes, "Will you be my sponsor?" I go, "I haven't sponsored anybody in years." I go, 38 years sober. You really need a sponsor? He goes, "I bitch a lot."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, call me a bitch anytime you want."
Yeah.
Because so anyway, I have a sponsee now for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And
Heck yeah.
yeah,
Love it, dude.
yeah. Well, anyway, Soldier's Child. Let's talk about that
Yeah.
real quick. Where can people go to
If
renocollier.com or?
What we do is it started with one kid 17 years ago. Remember, the picture of the Marine handing the little boy a flag and he's crying? That's on like every meme. And that kid's from Murfreesboro. So
Oh,
we
wow.
started, yeah. So I didn't.
So this started in Murfreesboro.
It did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My buddy Daryl started it. He was a veteran, and he lived next door to that kid's grandfather. And we just had our big dinner, and the little boy's grandma was there, which was really cool. But he wanted to do something for the kid for his birthday, and it turned into, what about the other kids who lost a parent? So it started out like that. Now we have over 5,000 kids all across the country.
Holy cow.
But it's kids who have lost their parent, and we have summer camps, we have music camps, they have a birthday party in honor of their parent through their 18th birthday, scholarships. It's grown into this wonderful. It's a Christian organization, but unfortunately, 70% of our kids are PTSD suicide kids now. So it started out with people dying in combat, and now it's turned into, you hear 22 a day, it's more.
Right.
And those children need to be taken care of. And our camp has developed where the counselors are kids who came through our program. So when the kids go to camp, they're not sitting in a classroom where nobody understands what they're going
Well,
through.
that's the point. I read it in a book. No, I lived this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
It's but we have a golf tournament that I'd love for you to come play in again. I know you played
When is
in
it? What
before.
day?
It's on Columbus Day every year, in October.
Well, that's my big holiday.
Is it? You celebrate that?
I know I get lost
Do you?
every Columbus Day in honor of Christopher Columbus.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's like
Who made a left when he should have made a right.
De Gaulle or whatever that.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't either.
Did you ever read the biography? Somebody wrote a biography about him, and he would in the storms of traveling, get on his knees and say, "God, I'm yours, I'm yours, God, I'm yours, I'm yours." And then when the storm would calm, he'd just go back to being
Whatever it
the
was.
dirtbag he was.
That foxhole.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but it constantly.
I used to talk about that in my act about how, like, when I was a kid, Christopher Columbus was a hero.
Yeah.
Now they're like, he made a left. His wife wanted him to go right, and he wrecked into America. He got off and he hacked up all the Indians. And it's like, geez, at least I got half off my mattress. Like, I don't know what to say to you.
That's the way I look at things.
Yeah.
How did it benefit me?
Yeah, what did I get out of it?
Yeah, I don't care what he did.
But a soldier's child took the biblical meaning of taking care of our widows and orphans literally.
Yeah.
And we're actually working on a documentary.
And people can donate. They don't necessarily have to play in the golf
you can
tournament.
go to asoldierschild.org
Yeah.
and you can kind of see what we do and see if it's something you'd be interested. I mean, we have people who just package birthday presents or that go on shopping sprees for kids around Christmas or birthdays or we always, with over 5,000 kids, we have birthdays every day.
All this time I've known you, you've never asked, because Tam and I would love to do that come
Let's
Christmas. We would love to do that come Christmas.
Let's go, dude.
We, our church has obviously the angel tree or whatever, and we buy, for locals in Fairview, but we would love to
well, I'm going to hit you up.
Partner in that with you.
You know how the nonprofit world works. I'll hit you up.
Yeah, I know you will.
I got you.
I know you will. So Columbus Day, when is that? It's October.
October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've hosted it for 16 years, I think.
I'm probably busy, but
That's all right. You
do it on like a Monday though, right?
It's always a Monday because the country clubs are closed.
Yeah, and I'm normally Monday.
Yeah.
You still out at Stones River?
We are at Old Natchez.
Oh.
Which isn't as
I know
far.
where Old Natchez is.
Yeah. And that's where we've been. I think that's where we are this year. I shouldn't have said that out loud, but that's where we've been the past few years. And
okay.
Love it, and they were great.
Well, that's great. I played a handful of qualifiers there, actually, when I was playing decent golf.
Yeah. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
But it's really like, if you get a chance, we have the kids speak,
Yeah.
the moms. it's when you see it and you feel it and you hug these kids, dude, it'll
absolutely
change. It's so humble. It's like USO tour. Like when you're around people, it's so humbling. You know, like we walk around with our problems and we think we have problems. These kids are at really high risk to get involved in drugs and trafficking and things like that. There's no dad. There's no, or mom.
Yeah, as a man who feels that men are important to it, certainly, it was interesting. I got into a discussion with a pastor one day about women pastors, and he said, I don't have a problem with that. He says, I only have a problem with women telling young boys how to be men.
Yeah.
You need a man to tell a boy how to be a man, or
you
show
do.
him how to be a man.
You do. And you have to live it yourself, too.
Well, that's it.
Telling them, it's like that. I went to a military school. For all
kids
high
watch,
school.
man. They
watch.
are.
It's example.
Yeah.
You lead by example.
Right.
And my example was terrible for my kids.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to face the consequence. Not in every way. I wasn't an awful but I was first. Right. And I was going to get what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I read my son's trauma sheet when he came out of rehab. He said, I'll show this to you if you don't mind. I go, no, I'd love to read it. And first thing on there was abandonment.
Yeah.
And I said, there was nothing I read in there where I said, I agree with it all. I said, but you're responsible for healing from it. I can't fix what I did. I can't, it's not my job.
Yeah. And fixing stuff is not easy.
No, it isn't.
You need God.
But you got to be willing to do the work,
yeah.
And get on your knees. And through time, the sanctification process, nobody gets sanctified overnight.
No.
It's just
It took us a long time to get down there. It takes a long time to get out.
Absolutely, man. And by the way, I have a golf tournament September 9th.
Right on, dude.
For the Anti-Predator Project. By the way, you can go to my website if you want to play in it. It's here in Nashville, in Dixon, at Greystone Country Golf Club. September 9th, it's a Wednesday. We're just raising money for the Anti-Predator Project.
Which is awesome.
Helping some with the human trafficking.
We are wonderful people.
We are, aren't we?
Let's take another hour and talk about how great we are.
Too bad the women aren't here.
That's why I want to do it now.
Do it now before they get back from lunch.
And start going, liar, liar.
Yeah. Reno Collier, out with Larry the Cable Guy. Mo, you're off for the summer?
I'm off for the I'm doing, there are a couple things.
Where can they find the show with the carving and the...
It's on social media.
I just don't want to see you in boxer shorts.
There's stuff. Not every episode.
Yeah. Okay.
We haven't released. We filmed all 13 episodes. They're coming out. If you follow us on social media, the Carve Off.
The Carve Off.
It'll have all the updates of everything that's going on. I think they're doing this, so I will push the social media when I go and play.
Yeah, I hope they're doing it. Yeah.
But it is coming out, and I know that, but I just can't get.
Do you know what network?
That's what I can't talk about.
Oh.
So if you follow the socials, it'll come out.
Okay.
And it was
sounds really cool,
dude. It's the artist on there. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a bunch of rednecks hacking up wood. These guys, it's like a band of misfit toys that tour the world.
I think it's great though. You get a skill like that, and it's nothing but a labor of love.
Yeah,
you're not financially, hitting the jackpot.
Well,
because you carve a log with a chainsaw.
The way that they got into it, one of the guys dude's huge. He's like 6'6", big old freaking dude. I go, how'd you get into this? And he goes, well, I'll tell you. He goes, I have 4 kids, and when my daughter wants me to push her on the swing, I wanted to be able to push her on the swing. So I work out of a barn at my house. I do these, I sell them, and if my daughter goes, hey, let's have lunch, I have lunch with her.
Wow.
And I remember being like, why didn't I talk to you 30 years ago? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was one of those, and one guy's a veteran, he was a Marine.
I hope you don't beat yourself up too much. I did for years because I was never home. But you know what? I knew no other way to put a roof over their heads.
No, dude. And there's a lot of positives that came out of what we did too. It's, by no means am I sitting around all day going, you moron.
Right.
But there are things that I need to address.
You brought a lot of joy to people too, man.
Yeah.
Even in your drunken stupid, people were howling and laughing, and those endorphins were getting released. And again, for that,
I was howling and laughing too.
Yeah. And, but you notice that the older we get, most of our fun stories start with, I was trashed.
Oh, dude. it was like whenever I'd go to a town, you know, someone would be like, "Did you see the statue of what?" I'm like, "Was it in a bar?"
Yeah.
No.
I know. I was the worst until Tammy started traveling with me. I was the worst tourist ever.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to the Grand Canyon? No, I didn't. I drove by it.
Yeah.
You know?
Best steakhouses in the country. Really, I had a hot dog at a gas station and drank a 12-pack on my way home. I don't know what the yeah. But now it's so everything I thought was so corny and stupid. Yeah. You know, now I'm like, oh, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Like this is I thought I wouldn't be able to do anything. I thought I'd never laugh again. I thought no one would like me. I thought I was finished.
Well, nobody likes you. Anyway.
No, I know, but I mean, tell me. They don't tell me.
They don't tell me.
They don't tell me they don't like me. You know what? I don't like them either.
I know.
I was talking to Sandy and I go, honey, it's hard being an extrovert. And she goes, do you know one? And I go, no, me. I'm a comedian. I'm an extrovert. She goes, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
I go, what are you talking about? She goes, how long have you lived in Murfreesboro? I was like, 23 years. She goes, how many friends do you have here? Like real. I was like, 3.
I know. We went to church for 15 years at same church. And at one point, people were leaving. I said to Tammy, point out 2 people we know. Hundreds of people leaving. Well, I knew the pastor.
Yeah.
I would talk to him, and I knew a couple of the associate pastors, and I knew a couple of people.
See, I'm stuck now because I came home. I found a house that was on a golf course, and I was like, oh, we're going to move. Yeah. It's 50 miles away, but I was like, I found this house, and it's perfect. It does what we want. Da-da-da. I walk in, and I'm going to show it to her. I'm like, honey, we're going to sell that. And she goes, oh, my gosh. They asked me to be an elder at the church, and I've never been so honored. And I was like, well, we ain't moving.
Right.
So she's on the phone with her son, and she's crying. She's like, and Britton works in Mississippi with Young Life. And she goes, I can't hear what he's saying, right? And she's like, they asked me to be an elder at the church, and I've never been so honored. And he goes, how does Reno feel about this? And I don't know what he's saying, but she just kind of looks at me. And she goes, what do you mean? And he goes, well, as you become an elder, people are going to look to him too. And she's looking at me like this, and I just hear her go, he'll be fine. Right? What that turned into is now I go in and help cook on Wonderful Wednesdays, which is church dinner for 150 people. They present it to me like, you're going to come in and cook. And I'm thinking Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay. I'm like, oh, yeah. No. I'm really the only man. There's a couple other, but when I go in, I'm the only one big enough to grab the big pots and wash them out, take the trash out. I'm dish boy.
There you go.
I'm dish boy. Now, at first I was like, no. But now I'm having the best freaking time. On my birthday, these little ladies brought me cards. They bring cake.
Absolutely.
They're like the sweetest people. All the whole community of it is really fun. But I don't remember anybody's names. So nobody, dude.
Right.
Like, I'm the worst. I don't know why. It's not that I don't care.
Because you're a self-centered prig, but don't worry about it.
I mean, really, a lot less you, a lot more me is kind of work.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, it's so funny because after the new church is literally a quarter mile from our house.
Is it the one across the street from your house?
It's you make a left. It's literally a quarter mile. It's next to the old body shop. But they started in the grade school, and that's where we started going. And Tammy got plugged in. She does 2 different ministries there for crocheting. She crochets prayer shawls.
Did you see her bag?
Yeah. She crochets prayer shawls.
That's what Sandy does too.
Well, it's called Prayerfully Made. That's a ministry. And then she does another one. And then she plays mahjong on Fridays at the rec center with the church people. So Tammy said to me the other day, she goes, I can't wait for you to just, when this career winds down, I can't wait for you to get plugged in like this because it really has made a difference in her life. I said, I'm plugged in. I mean, I golf with the pastor. I
golf
as
with
much
the
as
elders. I golf with this other guy.
I try to. I try. I mean, it's
I golf with my pastor too.
Yeah, but it's hard. I'm not there on Sundays. Most Sundays I'm working. But it is a different life, and community is important. And find one. I'm telling the audience now. Find a community. We're not meant to be isolated and alone. And you said it earlier. I drank alone.
Me too.
In crowded bars. I could be there. I made sure I was in a town that I never knew anybody, and I would sit there, all the noise around me. So when I read the list of traits of an alcoholic, isolation, you drink alone? No. I don't drink alone. I drink in, so I can crock that off the list.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but there's a famous person, not a comedian, a singer, that used to wake us up on the bus at 10 o'clock in the morning because if we got up and drank with him, he wouldn't be drinking alone.
Wow. Yeah, because, that's a sign.
That's a sign. And you can't have – I mean, we can justify and twist anything in our heads.
Absolutely.
But, dude, I'm so thankful to be on here. And
well, thank you for coming in. I know
out.
it's hard to get you down here from Murfreesboro, man.
Well, we come in for supplies occasionally, and I'm going to get some flour and salt and bacon, and then we'll ride the horse back.
And ride the pony back.
God willing, we'll make it down past Antioch and Smyrna and get all the way down 24.
Soldierschild.org. The Life and Sober.
Alive and Sober.
Alive and Sober.
It's on all the
platforms, Alive and Sober. And if you have an issue, and you do,
call Jeff at 615.
I was just going to say, reach out to Reno. But anyway, there's 50 archived.
And there's more. We're going to keep going.
And,
I want it to get
there's
in the
help
hundreds.
out there, believe me. Alcoholics Anonymous is in every city, town, and in the country. And we have 2 testimonies here that we would not be here without those beautiful, wonderful people.
And if you're thinking, I can't do that, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And,
yes, you can.
And I can tell you this, and you'll tell them the same thing, that every promise they make in that blue book has come true.
Dude, it's
look
magic.
it up. Just Google the promises and read
you
those.
You are not alone. I am here with you.
You didn't tell me you were going to sing. I would have cut this 5 minutes ago.
I didn't know I was going to. Can you cut that out with all the stuff about Sandy? Please.
We'll edit that out. Anyway, God bless you guys. Subscribe, share, comment. I'm here to make money, even though I'm losing money every week. But it's a labor of love. Christian, our sound man, is back. We missed him for a couple of episodes.
Were your parents Jewish?
But
no, I'm a PK, pastor's kid.
Oh, right on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My name's Reno. I'm a gambler's kid.
I'm an atheist son. So
that's cool, man. Are you footloose, pastor's kid, or are you pretty straight?
Nazarene.
No, but I mean, are you like? Did you go crazy?
Not in my teenage years, but once I got to college, just a little bit. Nothing crazy.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You are not alone.
God bless you guys. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.